Hi, Mr. and Miss Spartan. My name is Tara, and I represent Grace Center for Adult Day Services. I'm the Director of Community Relations there. And I'm sorry that I don't get to be there in person with you guys, but I hope you're enjoying your snow days. Grace Center is actually also closed and was yesterday and today as well. So I'm actually making this video here at home, so I can't promise that my cat won't try to make an appearance at some point. But I just wanted to thank all of you so much for the opportunity to tell you about Grace Center, and just thank you for all the hard work that I know you're doing already and are about to do the rest of this year to raise money to support local nonprofits. I was so privileged to get to talk to the group a couple years ago and get to know some of you, and just I'm so inspired by all of you. So first of all, thank you for what you're doing. Just tell you a little bit more about who I am, and then I'll tell you all about Grace Center. So I actually went to Oregon State University and studied gerontology and did an internship at the Grace Center. So all of you who I know are college bound, I just want to plug that internships are amazing and are a good idea for networking and getting an idea of what kind of career you want to do. So through an internship, I discovered Grace Center. I fell in love with the way that Grace Center is approaching this big issue in our country, really across the country, of a growing number of seniors, which is a wonderful thing. If you guys have heard of the baby boomer generation, a lot of us, that's our parents actually, and that age group is rapidly each day even, but year by year, more and more baby boomers are becoming seniors. And so our country is going to have a lot of elderly people in it, and does already and will continue to. So long-term care is this field of services for seniors in different forms. And it, at this point, wouldn't be able to handle all the seniors that are going to be in our country. So when I got my internship at Grace Center, I was really excited about this idea of long-term care having an option of day services. So I got really inspired by that, and when I graduated, I actually was fortunate enough to get a job and have there at the center, and have been with Grace Center for 5 years now, and get to do fun things like this, where I get to go out into the community and talk to people about Grace Center and get them excited about what we're doing and aware of what we're doing, because we're actually doing a really unique service. So who is it that Grace Center serves? Of course, we do serve seniors, but we actually also provide services to adults with disabilities. So Grace Center actually serves ages 18 and up. So our youngest participant has been, I think, recently, like in their early 20s, and our oldest participant in the not so long past was 105. So it's actually a whole range of adults of different ages. Our mission at Grace Center is to provide day services that optimize both the physical and cognitive functioning of both seniors and adults with disabilities, so that they can remain as independent as possible and in their own homes for as long as possible. And our vision is really to be leaders in long-term care, so that we can change the way that our culture views aging by our innovative practices, which keep families together and our communities intergenerational. So how do we do that? Well, I'll tell you how Grace Center started. It actually was almost 34 years ago that Grace Center began right here in Corvallis. A group of individuals got together and created a task force and thought, hey, how can we benefit this community? They were members of a local church, Grace Lutheran Church, and at first they thought, well, maybe we'll open up a daycare center. A lot of churches do that, and but they surveyed the community, and they realized that there was this huge need for some kind of day program for seniors and also adults with disabilities. So they were very ahead of their times. Day centers nationwide didn't come about till the 70s, and so this was in 1982. So day centers and day services was still a very new concept, and they decided to start a center and house it there at the church, but it wasn't officially associated to the church. They were just using the building. So from the onset, Grace Center became a nonprofit, a 501c3 as they call it. And they opened up and were just providing services a couple hours at a time, a couple days a week. Well, over the years, Grace Center grew and grew and grew. And in 2006, we moved into our current building, which some of you hopefully have seen. Maybe you've even visited. I know we've had your guys' a cappella group over to sing. So we're located on Spruce Avenue, which is that little side street, 1 block south of Circle. So on one end of Spruce is Market of Choice, and on the other end, it comes out at Highland where the Osborne Aquatic Center is. So we're not the multi-story living facility called, I think that's called Timber Hill. We're 1 block further in on Spruce. We're a 1-story building, and you'll see our sign Grace Center there. And actually, if you've driven down that road, you'll notice there's some big construction going on in our building, and I'll tell you guys more about that. So that's where we're located, and we moved there in 2006 because we kept growing, and I'll tell you more about our building later, but we've been there ever since. So we've been serving Corvallis and the surrounding communities for over 33 years. And Grace Center remains the only adult day center of any kind in Lynn, Benton, and Polk counties. So we actually serve a really broad area. We're an unduplicated service. No one else is doing what we're doing in the area, and people drive even very long distances, like from Sweet Home or Dallas even, to come to our center. But the majority of our participants, that's what we call our clients, do live in Corvallis and come from Corvallis. So that's where we're located. That's our story. We've proudly been serving our community for 33 years. And now Grace Center has grown. Like I said, when we started, we were just open a couple days a week for a few hours at a time. Now we're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night. We're also open the second Saturday of every month from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And then we have this big, beautiful program that I'll tell you about. And we've grown, and we now serve about 27 to 30 participants a day. And participants come on different schedules. So some come for the whole day, some come for part of the day. And so we actually have between 60 and 100 participants enrolled at Grace Center. So we're serving around 100 participants, but on any given day, about 30 or so of them are present. Another big thing that Grace Center does that I should mention is we're providing what's called respite for family caregivers. So these people that come to Grace Center, they are, because of age-related declines or because of a disability, they do need help. They need help to get around. Maybe they're physically fit, but they have dementia, so they need help navigating their surroundings because their problem solving is affected by the dementia. So these are people that can't live at home alone anymore for whatever reason. And at this point, family has stepped up to the plate and is providing care and assistance to them. So a lot of times that's a spouse caring for their husband or wife, or it's adult children caring for their parents. So it'd be like my parents caring for my grandparents. So these people usually have someone living with them that's helping them and providing them care. But as that caregiver, that family member, as they're providing that care, the care receiver, their needs may increase, or that caregiver is elderly themselves and they have limited energy or resources to be able to continue to care for that person, but they really desire to be that person's caregiver and to help that person stay in their own home. So the caregiver often needs a break or a way to have some rest. They love what they do. They love providing care, but they're going to experience what's called caregiver burnout if they don't get some assistance. Sometimes when somebody has dementia, they're going to be up throughout the night. Their sleep cycle is disturbed. So that caregiver is going to be up with them as well. And if they're elderly themselves, they're going to be pretty exhausted. They're going to need to be able to rest at some point. And if they're never getting assistance or a break from caregiving, they're never going to get rest. And it's actually their health that's going to decline faster than the person who's needing the care. So it's really, really important to support family caregivers. Probably a lot of you know family caregivers. Maybe it's your own parents who are caring for your grandparents, or maybe you yourself have been a family caregiver and have helped out your grandparents or another family member. And if you've seen caregiving, if it's touched your life, you know how beautiful that is. You know what an amazing thing it is. And you know also that it can be very hard. And The family caregivers that we serve at Grace Center, they're truly my heroes. I think they're amazing people, and I think that they are the unsung heroes in our communities. I think a lot of them don't even get acknowledged or recognized for the amazing thing they're doing in providing that care. And so Grace Center is all about supporting both the participant who comes to our center, but we also are supporting that family caregiver. So for every one participant that's at Grace Center, there's at least one family caregiver out somewhere in the community or at home getting the respite they need to help them keep doing that caregiving job. So that gives you a little bit more about kind of the breadth of our services. So when I say we have 100 people enrolled, you can double that easily when you think about the impact that Grace Center has. There's at least 200 people really that we're serving, because for every one person in the program, there's at least one caregiver out there getting that respite. So as you can see from what I'm talking about in our mission, we're really trying to help people avoid premature placement into nursing homes or some kind of facility. Nursing homes, memory care, those are so important. They're really good things. I don't mean to say that they're not, but what is a problem is a lot of times people are kind of forced without having enough resources to move into nursing homes or memory cares or whatever facility earlier than they really want to or are ready to. One big thing is that skilled nursing or memory care or any type of living facility is very, very expensive. A lot of people that come to Grace Center need some type of financial assistance. We have people of all different income levels and socioeconomic status coming to our center, but that can be very expensive. Another big thing is, say it's an elderly couple, they've been married 50 plus years and they've lived in their house for probably all those 50 years. And the idea of one of them having to move out because they need more care and the spouse can't do it without getting some help, that's a really hard thing for them. If they're not emotionally ready for that, it can be a hard thing to have to leave your home that you've been in your whole life and maybe even be separated from your spouse or your family just by the circumstances of needing some more help. So Grace Center kind of inserts that help and helps people stay in their own home. So that's when we talk about our vision, and our tagline is Grace Center is keeping families together, and we're keeping our community intergenerational. That's something Grace Center is super excited about, and it's something I encourage you, if you're looking for volunteer opportunities, to go to our website. You can check in with Hannah. Hannah has been my main contact, and I can get you more info, but we love getting the youth and of every age coming to the center because we really feel like every community should have a really strong intergenerational component where seniors and also adults with disabilities aren't getting isolated, aren't kind of off in separate communities. They're actually here in our neighborhoods, here in our homes, where we have all ages represented and in a functional community together. So that's a little bit more about that. So Grace Center, what do we do? I mentioned we're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning till 5:30. So what's going on? Are we just sitting watching TV? Not so much. We have this amazing program that's full of activities and exercise. So adult day centers can be social or health or both. And Grace Center is one of the few centers in the whole state of Oregon that is both a health and social day center. So when I say social, I'm talking about these amazing opportunities for people that are often otherwise isolated in their homes to get social interaction and engagement with one another, and then these amazing activities that bring good cognitive stimulation and also an opportunity to really just have some emotional well-being, to do things they enjoy doing. So in our day program, we have all these different types of therapeutic activities. So our center is beautiful. It's 11,000 square feet and it's full of all these different rooms and places. So we have a main dining room where we gather in the morning and we serve morning refreshments and we do a group activity, whether that's a crossword or trivia or discussing current events. That kind of warms us up in the morning, gets us engaging with one another, getting our minds going. We transition into some exercise time. We have 2 gyms, one with a bunch of workout equipment called New Step machines. We have chair exercises. We do lap walking, chair yoga, standing balance. hand weights. We do a whole program. We then serve a big full lunch. We have it catered. We serve it restaurant style. We can provide full assistance with people. So if they need help eating, if they have special dietary restrictions, we can take care of that. We have opportunities for rest. We have a main lounge with nice lift recliners where they can rest. We have a library with a record player, puzzles, books, and magazines. Then we transition into a main activity where we have all these different types of activities. So at 1:30 every day, we have 3 choices for our participants to choose from. It's going to be anything from art projects in our art room, whether that's painting, drawing, ceramics class, jewelry making. We have a textile room, so we do sewing, quilting, knitting, crocheting. We do tons of cooking and baking activities. We have a whole garden in our back with beautiful raised beds so people in wheelchairs can come right up to them and work in our garden. We grow fruits and vegetables. We have apples, pears, strawberries, all different types of veggies, flowers, and herbs. We have 4 chickens out in our garden that the participants love. We've had them for years now. They named them. We have Butterball, Rusty, Pearl, and Lucky. They lay eggs for us. The participants help take care of the chickens. And we have a wood shop, so we do woodworking activities. We build things, we fix things, we carve things. They actually built the chicken coop out for the garden as an activity. We have tons of music, so we have groups that come in and sing. We have sing-alongs, we have drumming circles, we have instruments they can play. We have animal therapy a lot of times outside of our chickens and some fish that we have there at the center. We have therapy dogs come visit, cats. We've had llamas and alpacas come. So we love bringing animals into the center, rabbits. We partner with the local humane societies and have animal therapy time. We do outings in the community every month. We go to the fair, we go to baseball games, and these are all things that these people just usually don't have any opportunity to do because they have a disability or because they have dementia. They're usually going to be a little bit more homebound. And so this gives them just this enrichment. And a lot of people experience cognitive or physical decline unnecessarily because they're not getting enough stimulation. And if they could just have a place where they could have that, they're actually going to improve their cognitive ability or at least maintain it for much longer. And that's all ways that's going to help them continue to remain as independent as possible in their homes. Because everybody that I interact with, that's their number one desire. If at all possible, I want to live in my own home and I want to stay with my family. So that's what our activities program and everything we do is all about. We also serve a snack during the day. We play group games. We just have this big, beautiful, vibrant center and program. We also have a massage therapy program. So we have a massage suite and they can get massages. We have a salon. So we do haircuts and nail care. We do spa days. We also have a room with a pool table. We do lots of, I think I mentioned before, card games and board games and things like that. So that's what's going on at the center. People come through dial-a-bus or transport companies or families drive them, or we can provide transport in special cases. And people, like I said, can come half day, full day, or hourly. We let them be the schedule they want. And then we provide lots of financial assistance. So we have private pay rates, but we also have contracts so that people can come through the VA or Medicaid or things like that. So a couple things about our specialties. We specialize in memory care. So we take people with all levels of dementia. We have a secure facility so they can move about the facility, but there's no way for them to accidentally exit. We have a code that our staff lets people in and out with. And then we specialize in post-rehab. So we're actually taking people that have had strokes or traumatic brain injuries. And so they're getting that physical rehab that they need to help them maintain their independence for as much as possible. So I know I'm going a little long here, so I'll wrap up. So how would the money you guys raise help us? If you decided to choose Grace Center, what would all your hard work go towards? Well, it could go to a couple different things. I mentioned there's been some construction. I mentioned our big, beautiful building that we've been in for 10 years. Well, we've been renting it, and we have the exciting opportunity to purchase the building and make it our permanent home. And we actually have already raised half of our campaign's money, and we're ready to make a down payment as soon as we finish up some construction, and we will be homeowners. But we're trying to raise the rest of the money to pay the building off as soon as possible which will give us more resources to expand our program as our participant count increases. So your dollars could potentially go towards the capital campaign. You could even sponsor one of the rooms and have the room named after you guys. You could pick a room depending on how much you raise and donate. It could be the Mr. and Miss Spartan dining room. We put a plaque up for you guys. So there's a couple different things you could do with the capital campaign, or you can give directly to our financial assistance program, which helps us keep those contracts that I mentioned, that help us be able to provide services at no cost to folks who are low income. So there's a couple different ways you could do that. So I'll wrap it up and just say thank you so much for the opportunity. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast or bore you all. It feels a little different not to get to be there with you and ask, see if you have any questions. But please, if you do, like I mentioned, Hannah's been my main contact. So any questions you can funnel through Hannah. She has my contact info. I'd be more than happy to answer anything. And be safe in the snow. Bye, guys.